This is the vanishing point filter. So I'm just going to do a few things with vanishing point. So the first thing you want to remember to do is to make a new layer before you go into vanishing point, because when you finish, all the work that you do in vanishing point will be placed on this new layer. You don't want it to be placed on your photo layer. So we go to filter, vanishing point, and then we're inside vanishing point, and we can do anything in here actually that involves perspective, cloning, selections, all that kind of stuff. Anything that you can do with these tools here. So the default is starting with this button here, and this is where we make our first grid. We establish our perspective with the first grid. So I'm just finding an area in this image it's really easy to attach the grid to. It's very clear where these lines are. Now when I first place this grid on here, it looks like this. It's blue. If it came out a different color, like yellow or red, that means you're out of perspective. But once you place the grid, you can adjust it. So it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. So I just go and grab these points, move them around until I think it's accurate. Now I want to be careful because in this photo, there are different levels to this wall. So this bottom level is out further, then it steps in, and then it steps in again, and then it steps back out for this. So I'm just working on this first plane here, and then I'll wrap the grid around this corner here. So to turn the corner, I have to go up and grab this tool again, because once I start adjusting the grid, it goes to this tool, which is the edit plane tool, and to tear off another plane, I need to go back to this tool here, the create plane tool, grab this center point, and then just pull this down. And I'm just going to let go there because I can see that it's really far from the correct perspective that I want. So before I pull it down further, I'm going to grab this corner and just pull this up to about there, and pull this one down there. And I'm just lining up this bottom horizontal line with the edge of the wall that I'm looking for. And now this one needs to come down a little bit further, and then now when I drag this down to the end, it looks more accurate. Now I want to turn right again onto this face, so I'm going to go back to this tool, or to the create plane tool, pull at the center corner again, and you can see that it lines up pretty closely to that edge. It's not perfect, but I have a feeling that this building is not true, meaning these lines aren't exactly vertical. They look like they're tilted in a little bit, so the perspective might be off a little bit, but it's going to work. And at this point, it's not letting me change these corners, and I didn't understand why at first, but I realized that I've already established this plane with this part right here. They should be the same, so it's not going to let me change it because it wants it to be accurate according to the first plane that I set up. Once I have this done, then I can either output this grid to Photoshop by going into this menu here and rendering grids to Photoshop, or I can start working in here with the clone tool, selections, and so forth, and I'll do that on the next video.